how to start a photography business. I'm Rebecca. I started out as a field sports photographer / gun dog and dog photographer. I photograph dogs now. I've won awards. I'm a member of the Guild of Photographers, a qualified member, and yeah, I've won some awards for my photography. Now, in the video timeline, there's chapters, 6 sections, but I'm also going to put each little bit, if I can, in just to help you skip through if you want to find the information you need. I'm going to start with my introduction of how I actually started my photography business, which, to be honest, I'd never set out to start a photography business. It just happened, which probably quite a few people probably go along that way, which was started out over 10 years ago now, more than that, photographing my own dogs, which is what a lot of people do. Got some good camera gear for photographing my own show dogs for the dog's website. I was photographing gun dogs, working gun dogs, and field sport type images. And then what I wanted was a photograph of a dog retrieving a bird. Proper live shot, which I hadn't got, and I just really wanted that shot. And someone suggested I went to Chatsworth, which is just up the road from me, Chatsworth House Estate, to go to the working gun dog events. And I got hold of the person who organised the events, and one thing led to another, and he said, right, once I'd done a course, which he demanded, I pretty much was volunteering just to go and have a go. That's really what I wanted to do. Go and have a go. And I ended up photographing for 5 days. I was all geared up for selling photos, but I didn't actually think I would sell any, which is probably what a lot of photographers also think. I really enjoyed doing my 5 days out, sat out at Chatsworth, which is what I like doing anyway, photographing the dogs, doing the water shots. But it was June, and I do not go shooting, and I don't actually have any working gun dogs of my own. And I didn't realise it wasn't the season for doing the dogs retrieving the birds. It was all dummies thrown for the dogs. But anyway, I still enjoyed it. And after the 5 days, I actually sold quite a few photos. I thought, oh, actually, on the second day he'd asked me if I'd come back next year to do the same thing and would I do the championships for them. I thought, right, well, the way this is heading, I had got a business at the time, so I didn't have to worry about where the money was going to go. But then decided for the following year to set up my own business, get my own business bank account, etc. And it sort of went along from there, really. Doing dog photo shoots. Once you actually realise you can get some money for your photos, it gives you a little bit more confidence to think, oh, actually, well, let's try this, let's try that. So that's how my photography business started, really. And through doing those Kennel Club events, the Cocker Spaniel Championships in 2018 was held at the Sandringham Estate, which I've been to before, and a few gun dog events are held there, or used to be. But the Queen came for 2 days out, and that was such an amazing experience through going off to do one thing what I wanted to do for free, really, going and volunteering, to getting to do that along the way. So, yeah, it's been good. Section 1 is your business name and registering your business. So, in my opinion, it doesn't matter what you call yourself. What is important is choosing the right type of business for your circumstances. In the UK, you've got a limited company, you could be self-employed, sole trader, partnerships. You need to look into that properly as to what is going to suit your circumstances. You don't have to have clients to have a photography business. You could sell stock photos, sell prints online. You could do product shots where you'll have a client to deal with, but you're not taking clients out. So there's so many different types of photography businesses or ways of making money with your photography without having clients, where you're going to need some kind of business, and a business bank account to put your money in. So yeah, I'm in the UK. I'm sure all different countries have different types of business setups, so that's for you to find out. But what I do recommend, whatever type of business you set up, you have 2 separate bank accounts, one for your personal money and one for your business money. you know, however you're going to do that, depending what business idea, you know, type of business you come up with. And it's up to you whether you're going to do your books yourself, you know, your paperwork, get an accountant, get an app to help with your bookkeeping, but keep that up to date as well, rather than getting to the end of the first year and going, oh no, actually I've made loads of money, and panic and start looking for an accountant. They would far rather know straight away, or however you're going to do it, keep all your receipts. Section 2, I've labelled legal stuff. We'll start with photography insurance. I do actually think you do need photography insurance. Being a member of the Guild of Photographers, they had a discount off some photography insurance who I went with, and I've actually been with them for years. I quite like the lady I speak to at the insurance company when I need to ask something. She's always really helpful. I'm not pushing that insurance, because insurance is insurance and you can ring round obviously to get the cheapest one. But that covers my gear up to a certain amount, you know, what I've got out with me. My public liability covers my studio, although it might be a makeshift photography studio, what I've set up in my dog grooming salon. It's actually always been insured as a photography studio as well. Believe it or not, that has been. And yeah, she's always got advice for me if I've got any questions. Now, permits, they're probably not down as legal, but going to different venues, you may need a permit. When I've had a permit before, I've had to show my public liability, which is why the lady's really helpful, because I can never find the email with the paperwork on. She sends me my public liability so I can send it into wherever I've asked the permit for. Things all sort of go together, and sometimes, you know, you need permission sometimes in certain places to do photo shoots, which might require a permit, but also then when you get a permit you might need to do a risk assessment, and it all could end up actually being a legal case if you don't do it right. So that's those, but then also within this legal stuff is a contract. And again, through the Guild of Photographers, years back, I'm sure they still have it, they had a wedding photography contract template, and it was quite big. And what I did, when someone said, just take what you need out of that and make your own contract up, which is what I did. And my contract is sort of like a booking form, which I can half fill in while I'm speaking to the dog owner for the dog photo shoot, which is basically their contact details, the dog owner's contact details, name, address, contact details, then the dog's name, age, breed, anything I should know about the dog, the location where we're going to be doing the photo shoot, the time, date, obviously, of the photo shoot, and it does say, like, photo shoot, which includes a private online gallery, and then there's products with the space, so if they've got any downloads or any print packages or anything included in the price of the photo shoot, I'll write in, or just write none, cost of what the photo shoot is, and then there is a little section at the bottom what basically says if the weather is not very good, or, you know, if example pouring with rain, we will rearrange the shoot. That does not say you're going to get your money back, it says we'll rearrange the shoot. There's a note about that, and I have two pieces of paper. The other piece is a photography consent, and it's basically we consent to the following photos, use of our photos, and it's a yes no all the way down. It doesn't matter whether put yes or no, which is starting with, can I use the photos, basically, can the photos be used in photography competitions on the website, on my photography website. Now, by getting this consent to use the photos, I mean, obviously they're your photos because you've taken them, but they're for them and they'll be paying for them. Once you've got the yes, then you can use those photos in your photography portfolio. Legally almost, you know, they've given consent to use them. So if you're starting out, once you start going with your business, your photos should start getting better and better as well. And so will your photography portfolio. And if you can use those photos, like I'll use the photos in the photo competition and then put the photos, if they've got an award, into my photography portfolio, which I still always do that when I get an award for one of my images from any of the awards, and I've got a whole separate portfolio of all my awards. So that's, something to think about. Then on social media, can the images be used on social media? Can they be used in flyers, marketing materials? Again, which is like your website, but you might have business cards, flyers, leaflets, or your marketing material, really. I'll come to marketing really in a minute, but when you get your marketing material, there's no point going mad getting like 10,000 leaflets made if you've not really got the images to go on. You're going to use some kind of image on your marketing materials. You might as well get a few, because again, as your images improve, you might look at your marketing material, whatever it is, your business card, your flyers, etc., and think, actually, that could be updated. So yeah, don't go mad ordering loads of stuff in the beginning. And on there is also social media, marketing materials, and then basically if there's any kids under 13 any children under 13 years of age, can the photos be used again, and the name of the child, and then the whole thing, name, date, and signed. That's basically my contract, but I do have terms and conditions of the photo shoot on the website as well. So if you don't like writing, like I don't, I hate writing, things like that do need to be done so that you don't have any legal problems later on, or any problems later on down the line. Section 3, branding and marketing. So for your branding, you're going to need to create a logo of some kind, plain and simple. Not boring, but bold and simple and clear what it is. You can do that in Photoshop. I'm sure I've got a free logo maker link somewhere. I will get a referral fee if you click on the link, but as it's free, I probably won't, will I? No, but that would help you if you don't know how to create a logo in Photoshop. Again, your watermark, in a way is your branding, you tie it together. The colours of your website are your branding, but you are your brand as well. The style of photography is your brand. So if you're quite consistent with how your images look, you start to create your brand, don't you? Marketing, I've said a bit about the marketing, your flyers. Does anybody even use flyers anymore? I don't know, but if you've got a studio, you probably have bits and bobs of leaflets and special offers about, on marketing materials. Your website is your marketing material. Free stuff, you've got all your social media. All that social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, it's all free, isn't it? So make use of that to try and promote yourself, because with photography, you've got to push yourself. You can't just set up a photography portfolio and think, oh, well, now it's all going to happen. You've actually got to work on it and continually work on it. If you don't know, the idea of, I'm going to become a photographer is not sat out there at Chatsworth all day taking photos. There's editing. There's a hell of a lot of marketing you've got to do, updating your website. And as I said, as your photos get better, continually updating your portfolio, updating things all the time, and putting yourself out there, taking photos of yourself. Also, you've got Google My Business. It used to be called that. It was 7 years ago when I actually set mine up. But the big one is Google Maps, isn't it? I think you've got the red balloon where you sort of put your location in of your business, wherever that may be, and that, they all talks to themselves, don't they? It will appear. I'm not even going to go into it, but you want that. You want to put your location in Google Maps for your business, and push yourself. You can pay someone to help market your photography business. Just be careful who you do get, who you're going to part with your money with to help you market your business. But Google Ads, if you want to start pushing to get photo shoots. You've got Facebook ads, there's other ways of doing it yourself. You're still going to have to pay. There we go, that's a little bit on marketing. Section 4, camera gear and supplies. This is obviously going to be quite a big cost when setting up or starting a photography business. But like me, when I started, I already had my gear because I bought the gear to photograph my own dogs, and then it went from there. If you're just starting with completely nothing, in the video description below is a link to MPB. I will earn a small referral fee and no additional cost to you. That is used gear, used camera gear, and you'll save hundreds of pounds. You don't have to have the latest camera gear to start a photography business. I'll give you a quick example because I don't know what type of photography you're doing. whether you need a full frame camera, etc., which camera and lens you need. Try and use what you've got to start with and then upgrade, or you can trade into MPB to get what you want. The key to it is knowing exactly what you want or what you need and then working from there. See how much it costs, if there are any special offers on. Look in there. That the camera gear at MPB comes with 6 months warranty. It's all graded, so some is like new, excellent, good, etc. You get some real good stuff. I buy most of my stuff from MPB now. MPB or somewhere else. Second hand, basically. Used gear. You might not have the original box with it, but if you do buy new gear, save the original box for when you do come to trade stuff in, because at some point you will upgrade your gear. You get all sorts from studio, lighting, tripods, all sorts. But I'm going to give you an example of why you do not need the most expensive gear to make money with photography. 2 photos, both got a bronze award last month in the Guild of Photographers photo competition. I've done a video before about my Canon 6D, what's worth to trade in about 30 quid now, because it is actually, it's about at it, but it still takes photos. That took one of those photos, one of those awards, and my new Canon R6 mirrorless, R6 Mark II mirrorless Canon camera took the other one. They both had the same 135mm Canon EF lens on. I've got an adapter for the mirrorless camera for it to work on. So without going at 100% and, really scrutinising them, they both got the same award, is the point. The headshot was taken with my old £30 camera, Canon 6D, full frame, and the sat-down shot was taken with a new mirrorless camera. That £30 camera, I probably should get it out, but you won't really be able to see it. I actually take to dog shows and photograph, do like a little mini 5-10 minute photo shoot of the show dogs, and make more money than the camera's worth. Right? I sell the photos, basically. I sell the photos from that camera, which you can see the photo has won an award. Let's do photos of my dog. So basically you do not need to be going out, whatever you're doing, photographing, with the top of the range camera to be able to feel like, now I can charge, now I spent 10 grand, no, £30. £30, and the Canon EF 135mm lens I bought brand new years ago is worth 400 quid. So 430 quid's worth of camera gear, makes me money when I do little photo shoots at dog shows at the moment. Section 5, technical stuff, I'm going to call it. Let's start with your computer, some kind of desktop or laptop, so you can do your editing and sort your website on. And I call that is actually for me the most technical. I'm not very good with computers, but like anything in life, whatever you can and can't do, there are actually other people who are very similar. And it's amazing when I've been in groups before and seen comments from amazing photographers, and I've not updated Lightroom since 2021, or I don't update my computer. It's not just me, but the software, which is like the programs you put on your computer, are actually really easy, but you do need your computer updated for them to run properly as well, which is worth bearing in mind. Editing software, if you're just starting out, I would probably suggest Lightroom. You can get I have the Adobe photography plan, which is Lightroom, Photoshop, and then you get Lightroom on your mobile phone, which is really good, really handy. It's nice, pretty straightforward, and not straightforward, but easy. Pretty easy to get the hang of Lightroom. Then you're looking at, you want some kind of photo storage. Online cloud photo storage is the safest for your photos. Hard drives blow up. I did a video about when my 2 blew up with all my images on, even though I had the cloud storage, which I wasn't using right. Storing your photos on your computer is not the best idea, because your computer might blow up. Or another thing what can happen is you get going along and you start using Photoshop. And again, it's not just me this has happened to. I've seen it before when after it's happened to me. Scratch disks are full. Which basically, if you Google, scratch disks are full, what do I do now? You'll have a bit of a meltdown. You'll think you need to go and buy a new computer. What you've probably done is stored all your photos and your raw files and some of your PSDs on your computer till it's said I can't do anything else, and Photoshop locks up just as you're about to do something. It says scratch this are full, and what I have to do is delete a load of stuff and then it'll work again. So by storing your photos on your computer is not such a good idea all round, whether you're going to lose them if the computer blows up, or you're going to have to delete them so that you can use your editing programs properly. Some facility you could do with to securely share images, videos, raw files, PSDs online somehow. For different things, you will be amazed how many times you actually need some facility to put big files in and share it online, or be able to send it to someone online. You do with something, so you can do print sales, something which is going to increase your sales by being able to do print sales. And then a photo website, a photography website. So you've got your photography portfolio online for a start. Now the service I use to do this, all of that, all of it, the galleries, your photo storage, your photography website, and selling prints and other things, is SmugMug. I do have a 15% discount off any new SmugMug account, and will earn a small referral fee at no additional cost. I'll quickly show you in my dashboard. So here's where all my photos are stored, and videos, because it's unlimited photo and video storage. In the organise area, you can also store raw files and PSDs with SmugMug Source too. It's an add-on. Now, to get your photos in there, all you do is hit upload, and you can create a gallery or upload to an existing gallery. The visibility, you can have public, which is anybody. My Kennel Club events are public, which are already on the website too. Unlisted, anyone with a link, is what I use for clients, so only anyone with a link can see the photos when they're shared out. And you can add a password to that. You can also store the photos privately. You can add a watermark within the gallery settings to make sure your photos are protected, but you could also change the display size too. So you can upload your full resolution, but then just display them at the tiniest size possible. You can also switch download buttons on for when you're sharing the gallery out, if you want people to be able to download big files, depending on what you're using it for. And again, you can change the download size, which is good. And when it comes to selling, you can choose, if you set up quite a few price lists like I have, you can choose which price list you'd like to apply to the gallery. And then once you hit create, you can upload your photos into the gallery. In the organise area, they'll appear like this. It tells you it's actually unlisted, that gallery. And if you view on site, now you've got an idea of what it's actually going to look like when you share the gallery out. It's watermarked. I've got the packages on, gallery downloads, you can buy photos. Now, if you go to selling tools, this is where you can set up your price list, add packages, create discounts within the coupons. Just click manage. You can create a new price list from scratch. If you turn off suggested pricing and products, you can just pick exactly which products you would like. Or if you leave it on, then you've got every single product, and you can just go through, leave them all on, use their suggested pricing, or set your own price. Just click on the product, like the downloads, and say set your own price. Then you can apply this price list to a single photo, which particular galleries, or all the galleries. You might want the same price for everybody. Now, when it comes to sharing, just hit the share button. All you have to do is copy the gallery link and share the gallery out. It's as easy as that. If you want the photography portfolio website templates, you want site and the new site design, choose a template. They're so easy to use. I've got a video how to use those. When it comes to your mobile phone, if you get the SmugMug app, you can access all your galleries on your mobile phone in the organise area. You've got them all backed up and stored privately. When it comes to Lightroom, mobile, once you've edited your image, if you share it to SmugMug, it'll bring up the SmugMug app, and you can send your photos straight from Lightroom into one of the galleries or create a new one. Section 6, pricing your services. So after you've added everything up, section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how much is it going to actually cost to set up and start a photography business? Everyone's going to be different, because you might have studio space, you might not do client shoots at all, you might be able to do everything from home, so you won't need to use your car to go out. You've got to take all that cost into account. Car parking, you might need to buy a permit, etc. Your SmugMug account, 15% off the yearly plan is actually a really big chunk off that. Getting your camera gear through MPB or getting used camera gear can save you a lot of money. You want some wages, and then have a look around in your local area, depending what type of photography you're doing. What's everybody else doing and what are they charging? Are you any better, or are they better photography wise than you? You've all got to start somewhere. In fact, those Kennel Club events, I remember when I went, there was a man who was already doing the event photography of the gun dogs, and I'd already set up my prices going in line with the dog show side all those years ago, and my prices were double what he was charging, because we talked to each other, and I thought, I'm not charging that, that's way too cheap. And he looked across, and I said, well, mine are double that. He says, well, actually, I need to put my prices up anyway. So you're not going to ring them all up and ask them what they're charging, but in that case, event photography, by talking to the other photographers properly, we'd sort of come in agreement that he was going to put his price up. I think I dropped mine a little bit, but not to what his were. Because he's like, oh, well, they won't pay that. And then he says, well, actually, yeah, I'm going to put my prices up. So just work it out. Work out what you actually want out of it. I went on a wedding photography course for 4 days, and one lady on there had done 42 weddings at £2,000 each. It was a long time ago. And somebody said, oh, well, so-and-so charges £7,000 for his weddings, but he'd only actually done 3. And her 42 weddings didn't include any extra print sales. So you never really know, do you, what people are actually doing, although they might, when you look at them and what they're charging, if that's a little bit of help. So there you go. That's how you can set up a photography business. Everybody will be different. And I'm going to leave you with how to build, I don't know what it's going to be, how to build a photography portfolio website.